So there we have it.
In this vlog series, I am transforming an old 3-story house into an eco home while living in my van conversion.
I haven't really filmed for a few days just because, I don't know, my renovation for filming stuff all the time dropped. However, I got myself a new tool because there's quite a lot of finer woodwork stuff to do. I want to do like drawers, I want to build a wardrobe unit, I need to cut thin things down the middle. I don't really have a very good tool to do it. The jigsaw, it's quite difficult to make it really clean. You have to spend a lot of time cleaning it up. Difficult with more composite woods. And for circular saw, thin things are very difficult. So I bought myself this. It is a Bosch table saw. Bit of a beast, but it's gonna really allow me to cut things precisely. It's got guides, it's got all the kit. This thing slides out, this thing pops on. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And obviously this thing wheels up to give me my height. I'm gonna finish the flooring today, which just needs the oak planks cut a long ways. Be a lot tidier using, much faster using this machine. And then I'm going to do some door strips and try and finish a load of the little small edging and skirting board stuff upstairs. Really, one of the things I want to do now is to have a push and try and get the downstairs ready, because in 1 week's time furniture arrives. The kitchen is still a black hole of IKEA incompetence, but hopefully I'll try and resolve that in the next few days, and that might end up just having to be installed a bit later. But that is one of the major hassles and difficulties of building a house, is shopping. I literally hate it. That's part of the game. Okay, let's do this. So today I'm going to be doing something which is feel-good things, which is basically you're going to put in some electric stuff, because as soon as you fit the electrics, instead of having cables hanging out the wall, suddenly it looks really real and definitely like a room. I put this door in yesterday, I need to put the glass in it still, but as soon as I did that, now this space is enclosed, it looks really like a house, which is very cool. So yeah, I'm going to do a bunch of electrics today. I'm feeling a bit slow in the morning, wire up a bunch of stuff, and then, I don't know, I think I'll start doing some skirting boards, working out edges, gluing some edges on, and just doing, I guess, sort of final touches. Sounds kitchen, but still final touches for everything else, which is pretty cool. In this niche, I want to create like a firewood store. Exactly how much we really need to store in the house, I'm not sure. I mean, it's probably not that much in reality, but the idea is basically to have like, follow this line, keep this line going to here, and then have that as a store. If for some reason later I decide that I didn't want so much firewood store, I can always chop it off here and then turn it into a shelf. No big deal. So basically that's the idea. So I have like a stack of firewood, and then here This is going to be a cupboard which will hold, kind of like, because this is where the phone line will come in, and I've put a bunch of plug sockets in here, so that means that we can have like routers, chargers, all sorts of bullshit like that, which always looks a mess, inside a cupboard. So the idea is to build a cupboard here to contain all of those like gizmos and junk. And there's actually probably space to have like another, I could have like a drawer or something here if I want to. I've not quite figured out what I want to do with that, but there's the option for that. So I'm going to start off by trying to work out what is it I want to do, what's the end result I'm looking for, and then try and work out how to build it, how to do the construction so it looks really good, and doesn't like screw me up for kind of how I want things to be later, and then I'm going to build it. So start with basically the process for almost everything in the house. Starts with lots of drawings in the book, try and figure out exactly what I want, figure out the size of the wood, the measurements, the dimensions, basically a plan for the construction, because you know you want stuff to be evenly spaced with your materials, you want the lines to be correct, and then just build it. Because once you've done all that thinking, the building is like, unless something kind of throws up and it's a real pain in the ass, it's just a matter of execution. So I've got a bit of a plan. What I first need to do is build a frame, see if it will focus on the notebook. I'm going to build this frame. I want the chamfer corners. This will be like cut down oak floorboards, so it should look quite nice. I'm going to have it proud sticking out 1 centimeter, which means I can put a thin strip of oak as well, 1 centimeter thick up the side, which will frame the window. I'm not sure about the top, but I'll work it out later. So I've got to make my first step, make my oak frame, get it in, make it perfectly level and all that. Then put in the back pine, which is like cladding, side pine, and then I can put basically the wood on the top. This chamfered one will go a bit above this edge because it means I can just lay the other boards on top. Should be quite easy. So I'm gonna start with that and just see how it goes. One really nice thing is now I've got a table saw. It means I can cut these oak boards into really thin slices and use it for decorative work as well, which will make life a lot easier. I'm already really glad I bought it. Doing the stairs and the floors with the table saw just goes through the mud butter. It's freaking glorious. So I've cut, planed and sanded down these two bits. These will be opposing sides on each side. I couldn't find the really long plank, I had none left. So they're gonna have to float a little bit and I'll just correct it afterwards. So the first thing I need to do is basically work out the exact height or like the level across the gap so that we end up with nice level cupboards. So I've put this cladding in, just now deciding if I really like it. I think it's alright. The oak edging is lovely. That's great. I need to sand a bit down, but I'm just trying to work out roughly how to do it. This is just a chamfered edge piece on each side. Seems to be fine. The actual walls kind of go in a little bit, so I might recut this at a slightly different angle. Yeah, I just need to figure out if it's what I want. While that dries, I'm working on the sort of unit for the bathroom. Just been putting in the wooden sides. Quite easy, just basically take the unit, put it on, draw on the inside, cut that out exactly, just a tiny bit bigger so you can kind of stand out of it. Just on the other side now. That's a pretty close fit, because I like it just to be really neat. I'll give it a sand down and a varnish. I'm not sure whether to keep it light or go dark. I'll work that out a little bit later. This is actually the old wood I was using to cut all the plasterboard on. So on one side it's pretty filthy, but you never see that, and I can sand it down a bit anyway. So good to use that rather than chuck it all away. A little bit to take off this side. quite nice actually is this unit is almost entirely made of scrap. This is like leftover from the balcony. It's leftover from all the sort of house build protecting plasterboard, and the marble I ripped out the sink. So it's kind of cool. The sides fit in and they've been sanded. I'm going to give them a quick varnish. So now I've got the unit up here. Basically the job is to screw it in at the back. A couple of like issues. Obviously measured out before I put the tiles on, so it's a little bit further at the base than I wanted. It doesn't matter, I think. So yeah, I'm just going to screw that in. But I just got to find a way to kind of mark the holes where they are. This is my marble. I can get this on now and just get it centered. I'll glue it on, get it even on each side. Just try and get it on as flat as possible rather than squeezing the glue everywhere. I should be able to do the same on the other side. Hopefully it'll be good. If you're wondering why this is in 2 parts, it's because I'm an idiot. But it's going to be mostly covered by the sink, and it's going to work out pretty fine. I'm gonna try and make sure that my tap can go on straight and everything. The current set up should be fine. Easier to do this while before any glue's dry. This was a bit fiddly, this stuff. Now I'm gonna just get a spanner. So there we have it. That's like got a slight wobble. I don't know how much is normal. Maybe I can just tighten that up a bit underneath again. So with this one, I think I'm just going to glue it down, get it central. I might leave it until I've got the trap, because if I don't have the trap then I'm a bit concerned about whether I'm going to get it right or not. But what I can do is connect up the tap. At least then I can test it. And with this tap connected up, now the shower can run because we have the hot and the cold. And that's quite cool. Moment of truth now, let's try. Nice, good pressure on that. That's great. What that means is if we want to finish painting the ceiling and seal up the bits in the shower, then the shower is fully functional. The hot water domestic system upstairs is complete. Yeah, that's really cool. As you can see, this wood just looks beautiful. Day is doing some magic.
And the magic is just